saying for limes?
For limes?
Yeah, people like limeade.
I love limeade. I prefer limeade over lemonade.
Yeah,
It's less tart.
when life gives you lemons, toss them back and go buy yourself some limes.
Go get better limes.
Yeah.
Or go get just limes in general.
Go get
Replace
better
those
produce.
lemons. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean they're a little bit more sugary. Yeah, but I mean
I don't know.
I think so. They're less tart, so you would think that the sugar would come
They
through.
go well on a margarita. I know that.
Oh, that's true. You drunk. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lights, Camera, Nonsense, where we give you all the latest movie news you may have missed. I am Nick Frankenberry Simmons.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, the best cereal.
And I am the manager, Karen.
Oh, no!
Zach Smith.
Get out of here, Karen. And for the week of October 26th, 2019, let's roll into the previews. Zach, what have you been watching?
So I watched a couple things for our theme, which, as per usual, we'll get to later.
Okay.
Separately, I watched. I started watching this series on Netflix called Dark Tourist.
Dark Tourist. Okay. I
Yes.
thought you were going to say a different one.
No, just Dark Tourist.
I'll get into it later.
Have you heard of this show?
I have not, no.
So this guy from, I think it's New Zealand, is
Oh, Kiwi, mate.
he is going around to all of these quote unquote dark tourist spots. So essentially spots that are a little off kilter or, maybe a little dangerous, that like thrill seekers tend to seek out, because of the notoriety that they have achieved. So, like for instance, the first episode is in Latin America, and he goes to interview Pablo Escobar's hitman.
Oh.
Popeye is his name. I don't know if you ever watched Narcos.
I haven't, no.
I believe he is actually a character in that show.
I mean, he seems like a really important character to involve in that story.
This guy killed hundreds of people for Pablo Escobar.
Right.
At one point, he even killed his girlfriend.
Wait, Popeye killed his own girlfriend?
Yeah. Popeye killed his own girlfriend for Pablo Escobar.
Right. I was trying to remember who Popeye's girlfriend in the actual cartoon is. This is
Olive
oil.
Yeah,
I almost said sweet pea, and that's
the baby.
That's the baby. Wait, that is the baby?
That's the baby. Yeah.
That's also the baby sister to Jughead and Archie.
Well, I don't know.
Well, they couldn't. Comics are weird.
I think we've talked about Popeye lore before.
Probably.
Yeah, with the hamburger guy.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember his name.
Anyway, Popeye the Hitman.
yeah.
He killed people.
And his girlfriend.
Oh.
So he's like interviewing him and asking, and this guy has done time in jail. He served his sentence. And now he has like a YouTube channel where he acts in like quote unquote shows and movies of his own making where he is a hitman. And like people travel and like take pictures with him there. It's really weird. He's like this super charismatic dude, but he also killed people.
Yeah.
So there's like this...
How's he gotten away with this? If like
Oh no, he didn't get away with it. He served his time.
Oh, okay.
Now he's out.
You would think killing hundreds of people, I assume, from what you said. Hundreds?
It's up there.
I
think I said hundreds, but I don't remember exactly the number. He killed a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
So you would think that would be multiple life sentences, never see the light of day kind of thing.
Well, and then he also interviews like a police officer who was on the force at the time.
Yeah.
And he was like, he shows him a picture of his unit. And
gross.
What's his name? It's Nigel
Thornberry.
Not Thornberry.
Eliza.
Hold on. Let me look up.
Let's explore the jungle, Eliza.
Stop.
I'm Tim Curry. I have a big nose and I'm a cartoon character. Go talk to your monkey.
So not Nigel. I don't know where I got Nigel. David Ferrier. That's the guy who's doing the interviews.
Yeah.
He hands this ex-cop a picture and is like, of these people in your unit, and there's like 30. How many would be alive today? And the guy goes like, well, 5. Yeah, 5 people are alive, including me. And it's because we were all dirty. Dirty cops.
Oh, okay.
So justice system doesn't seem like you ask how this hitman got out after serving time. Justice system doesn't seem like the best.
Latin America it's going through some tough times. It always has.
And then afterwards, he goes to this he calls it like a barrio in Mexico.
Right.
I don't remember exactly where it is, but there's this place where people specifically worship the Saint of Death.
Ooh.
And so he's like kind of investigating why these people a lot of them are like ex-cons and like down on their luck people. But while he's there, he just kind of discovers like it's not so much like they're worshiping Satan.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, we're not afraid of death. Is kind of how it comes off. And then this is all one episode.
Oh, wow.
He goes on a faux crossing that people can sign up for where they cross the border illegally from Mexico to Texas.
But it's like a reenactment.
No, they're actually doing it.
Oh.
But it's like you pay to go.
Okay.
You know? And so they have like all of these kind of acts set up. Like at one point they're caught by narcos who are like looking for drugs and making sure that they're not crossing with
people
drugs.
Pay for this?
Yeah.
That's
like thousands
weird.
of dollars. And it's fucked up too.
Yeah.
If you think about the people who are actually having to do that in reality, and these people are just doing it for kicks.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like a weird Westworld
at
sort
one
of situation.
point, they are like kind of all sitting around, and someone says something to that effect. Like, man, it's crazy if you think about how like if we just want to drink of water, we take a drink of water, and like for other people, it is seriously life or death.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, you fucking asshole. Like this
must be nice to live in your ivory tower.
Yeah, and then
Kevin, I assume.
Here's another episode where he is investigating the Charles Manson murders. So he talks to the guy.
This is still Popeye.
No, different episode.
Okay. Why is a hitman investigating all these things?
In this other episode, he's back in the U.S.
Okay.
So he's investigating the Manson murders, and he's interviewing the guy that got all of Manson's effects in his will. And then he goes through, at one point, one of those extreme haunted houses where like you sign a waiver and the people who are putting it on could basically do anything to you. So this guy that's putting it on is ex-military, and he's essentially putting people through torture that he would commit in his
to
time
terrorists.
in service.
Yeah.
So there's tons of like fucked up shit and like, but it's really interesting in like a morbid sort of way.
Right.
And I like the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, thank Christ I'm not the one there doing that.
Oh, I mean, like even these have to be people who have spent money on everything they could ever want, and then they feel nothing at this point.
Yeah.
So they've got to do all this crazy shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, flatlining.
Yes,
When people do,
uh-huh,
when people do that kind of stuff. According to the movie Flatliners, it doesn't go very well.
No.
So that's what
or, autoerotic asphyxiation.
That too. That's how David Carradine went. It's not great.
No,
it's not fun. None of this is.
Anyway,
thank you.
That's pretty much all I watched outside of our theme.
Right.
So, Nick, what did you watch?
I watched.
I know one thing you watched. With watch in the title.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You are paying more attention to my personal life than I am. A little quick life update. I'm still working like a bajillion hours every day.
Life, as we said, life is work.
Life is work, and work is lemons. That's very true. Yeah. That's very true.
Do you have some limeade?
I don't. I only have the peach tea.
Oh, well.
Yeah. No calories.
There's no saying about when someone gives you peach tea. So I guess you have to drink it.
We can make one.
When someone gives you peach tea, say thank you, because that's a very courteous host.
Too long. Somebody give us a better peach tea line. Something that's not sexual. I don't know. So I watched the first episode of Watchmen.
Yes. On HBO.
On HBO.
HBO.
It's not the box office. Is that what
the
old one was?
Box office. Yeah.
No, but what was the tagline for it? It's not It's.
Oh, I don't fucking know, man.
It's not TV. It's HBO.
Sure. I just know what HBO stands for.
Yeah,
I don't-
yeah. Anyway, I saw it, and so this is a sequel series, a sequel to the original comic book, not the movie by Zack Snyder in 2009. Can you believe that's been 10 years?
No, I try not to think about it.
It's been forever, man.
Yeah.
It's forever. We're old.
We are.
Every episode, we just keep
Yep.
reminding ourselves. Not super old. We're fine.
We're almost dead.
No.
1 foot in the grave.
Oh, God. 28.
It's a
man.
good thing it's October because then we'll be able to come back. Like as spooky.
Do
things.
you only, is it only for people who die in October?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Everybody else moves on to whatever.
To whatever.
I don't know.
Whatever's the next step, you know? Well, as long as I don't die on my birthday, because my birthday's in October, I just don't want it to be like morbid
Well,
and
if
like.
you did,
ooh,
that
coincidence.
narratively speaking would be really nice, you know? Like if you made
He
it
died the way he was born, nude, and in a hole.
angry.
Very angry. I would be angry and nude
If
in a
you
hole.
look at the Nick Simmons story and it starts on your birthday
Yeah.
and then ends on your birthday, that's like a, I don't know, a Benjamin Button story.
No, I didn't form back into a baby. Edgar Allan
Well,
Poe
it's
died on his birthday.
Reverse Benjamin Button.
Reverse Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
I just got severely old, but more and more childish. That's great.
You're like Jack.
It's reverse Jack. No, just regular Jack. It's just regular Jack. Oh, Robin Williams.
Yeah.
I watched Watchmen. And it's a sequel series set in present day 2019 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which coincidentally is where I was born.
Oh,
Yeah, a little fun fact
I
for
don't
you.
think I knew that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was born in Texas. I consider myself a Texan.
Right,
I was
because you've
born-
been here forever.
Yeah, I've been here most of my life,
Yeah.
but I was born in Oklahoma.
Oh.
And
The sooner you. The football joke.
I
I got like 2.
we got like 2 of them. It's set in present day in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You've got Robert Redford is the president. He's been president for like 20 years. After Richard Nixon in the comic and everything,
Right.
there's basically no end term for president. Robert Redford is the new president, and he's like basically Reagan.
Yeah.
And so everything is kind of hunky dory, but there's Reaganomics, except it's Redford
Star Wars.
stuff. No, so here's the thing. The crazy thing about this show is they thought about everything
Oh.
when it comes to like how history would have changed with the inclusion of all of these characters
Right.
based off of the comic.
That was kind of the central premise of the comic as well.
Right. It's an alternate history.
Yeah.
There's no cell phones. They have pagers. There's no internet. Basically any fancy technology mostly, but there's still like flying hovercrafts
Right.
and
Yeah.
Dr. Manhattan is on Mars and stuff because he left, which is kind of weird.
The blue dick.
The blue dick. They subtly reference parts of the comic, but they don't really hold your hand when it comes to whether or not you have actually read the comic.
So this is kind of its own series.
It's kind of its own series. You don't really have to know all that much when it comes to starting this series. You have to know the cliff notes
right. Yeah.
of the comic. You have to know what
It helps
happens.
anyway.
Yeah, because there is one returning character from the comic and the movie.
Silk Spectre, right?
No,
No?
Veet is still alive.
Ah.
He's played by oh my gosh, help me out. He played Alfred in the Zack Snyder.
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons, thank you. He plays.
You know what's funny about that is
What?
I've actually never seen and like Batman v Superman or just like
Right, but
none of the Zack Snyder Batman movies. I just know that
You're
Jeremy
lucky.
Irons is in
Uh,
that.
And I think that's I think he's a good pick. He's only in one scene in the first episode.
Okay.
The newest episode is premiering tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. The set design, the art design, and everything is really well done. It's HBO. The
Yeah.
budget is behind it. Really interested to see how things play out. There is a white supremacist group, relevant to things going on today, that are based on a character from the original comic, and they are attacking police officers who, in this world now, are masked. They cover their identity so they can't be attacked by regular folk.
Yeah.
Because people attacked police in the interim between the comic and...
Yeah.
There's a lot that happened in between the comic and the show, but you get hints of it throughout the episode. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of world building and a lot of kind of assuming and logic leaping, but I'm very interested to see where it goes.
Well, hopefully it continues the trend and sticks the landing. I saw that HBO released the premiere numbers, and it was like 1.5 million.
Is that low?
It's lower than, say, like Game of Thrones season 8 premiere.
But that
because that was like 17.8 million, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know? But like Westworld, I think premiered with maybe 2 million. So it's not like fantastic or anything.
Right.
But I think they said it was like their highest premiering show since Westworld season 1.
Right. Well, and like I was saying, basically Game of Thrones season 8, it had 7 seasons before it where people were expecting and knew what they were going to see. Whereas with this, they weren't sure.
And
fans
it's hard,
of the comic,
it's hard to really ever measure up to the cultural impact of Game of Thrones. Something will come along, I'm sure, but like so soon after it, I don't know. These things usually come in waves.
Networks are trying to find their next big thing with Walking Dead kind of shambling into.
Yeah.
I mean, they keep spinning it off
it's
and making
go
movies
on
and stuff.
forever.
Yeah, and I don't like it, but it's basically dead in the water when it comes to a cultural impact. You've got that Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad coming back with El Camino on Netflix,
Right.
but from what I could tell, most people thought it was okay.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Is like, it's not terrible, but it's not
necessary.
There's nothing new.
Yeah.
Yeah, unnecessary. I think is what I saw.
I was never that much into Breaking Bad, but
We've discussed it before.
yeah, we've done several times from what I'm guessing. Okay,
once or twice.
And then Westworld, while doing pretty well, they're when does season 3 premiere?
I don't know. Soon
this year?
I think it's next year.
Next year?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, everyone's trying to find their next big thing.
They're doing Watchmen and His Dark Materials this year.
Yeah.
And then Westworld season 3 is next year.
So that's all HBO.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm interested. There's always a ton of things to watch.
Yeah.
You know, so it's always trying to find that one thing that you want to follow. It's actually I did watch another thing.
Okay.
I did say that I was going to restart Mr. Robot. I'm still on that.
Yeah. So you
update.
did restart it, or you're just watching?
I did restart it.
Okay.
So I'm almost done with season 2. Then I only have season 3, and then I'm on season 4.
Nice.
Or then I will be on season 4. So it's fantastic to go back and watch, and yeah, I love that show.
Nice.
So
good. It's always good.
Rami
to have
Malek.
Things you love.
Yeah. Christian Slater.
So that's all you watch? Just those 2 things?
Yeah,
basically?
not
aside from
beside the topic and everything. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've been doing that and playing video games.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No need to apologize.
No,
sir.
I am sorry.
All right, well, we want to jump into our theme.
Yes.
It is our last spooky theme of the month. So, Nick, what was our theme this week?
Our theme was Monster Mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
No one's ever heard the Monster Mash.
That's not true.
No, yeah. No one's ever heard it. The song The Monster Mash is a song about the Monster Mash.
That's correct.
It's been great. Yeah,
it's like the Time Warp.
Yeah, it's basically or tribute song by Tenacious D.
Yeah, or Ironic by Alanis Morissette.
Weird poll. Okay. All right, I guess. Zach, before we get into the topic.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's happening.
No.
Yes. Quiz time. There's gonna be a sound effect like lightning or something.
Oh, yeah. Spooky.
Ooh. Hello, it is I, your game master. I am a Frenchman, and I will be doing this accent the whole time.
I can't tell if you're French or German.
I don't know either. I don't
French.
know. I don't know.
Thematically, this makes sense.
Yes. So, we will be doing this movie quiz, and it is a horror... magic quiz, tough horror movie quiz.
Okay.
Nick performed it earlier today.
Now you're German again.
Shush, shush, contestant. Shush. I'm committing to the bit.
This is certainly a commitment.
Yes. So, we will do the movie quiz. Nick performed it earlier today, and only missed a few. So,
Okay. Good job.
whereas most of the other quizzes, he completed it 100%. So,
Weird flex, but okay.
just saying, he's a good contestant. Number 1.
Oh,
In The Silence of the Lambs, who is Buffalo Bill's victim the daughter of?
oh God.
Is it a famous actress, a senator, a news anchor, or the president?
It's a senator.
A senator. Okay, we will see.
How long is this quiz?
It's only 10.
Okay,
It's only 10
okay,
questions. Take it
We
easy.
got a lot of news.
Oh, we will get there. Who is the first person killed by Ghostface in Scream? Is it Gail Weathers?
It's Drew Barrymore.
Casey Becker, the character's name, please. Tatum Riley. Or Sidney Prescott.
How the fuck am I supposed to? It's not Cindy. It's not Gail. Who are the other two?
Tatum Riley. Or Casey Becker.
I'm gonna say Casey Becker.
Casey Becker, we will see. Number 3.
God,
Who does Michael Myers kill as a boy in the first Halloween movie?
his sister.
His sister. Okay, you seem confident.
I
You're
am.
confident. Number 4. What does Heather find in front of the tent after Josh disappears in the Blair Witch Project? I think I'm just committing to the
teeth,
German.
I think.
A pile of rocks, a stick figure, a bundle of sticks filled with blood and teeth, or a bloody knife.
I think it's the
You're
teeth
going
one.
with the teeth.
The teeth one.
Okay. Number 5.
Uh,
What is the camp name in Friday the 13th? This is a very easy one.
Camp Crystal Lake.
Yes. You sure you don't want to go through the options?
Oh, good.
Camp Moose Lake, Camp Crystal Lake, Camp Waziyata, or Camp Timberlake.
I'm gonna
Timberlake.
Timberland. Camp Timberland.
Hey,
I like that you know that he's the producer on that.
Number 6. How does Rachel avoid being killed by Samara in the ring? She pushes her down the well. She burns the tape. She locks her in the barn attic. Or she makes a copy of the tape.
She makes a copy of the tape.
Oh, okay. Okay. There's a lot of ads on this.
Who are you?
Huh.
Where'd the host go?
I'm right here
Where'd the
sitting
weird
next to you.
Frenchman go?
Take it easy.
Oh, God.
I am back.
Ah,
Number 7.
I missed you.
Don't worry, I am here. I am here.
You weird French-German hybrid.
I don't know where I am. Perhaps Switzerland. How does Bruce Willis's character, Dr. Malcolm Crowe, die in The Sixth Sense?
He's shot by one of his patients.
Okay, oh, you seem very confident.
Yeah.
Nick has never seen the movie.
Really?
It's very true.
Wow, spoiler alert there.
Never seen the movie. Shush. Don't assume. Number 8. How does Freddy Krueger kill Rod in A Nightmare on Elm Street? Rod. The character Rod.
Johnny Depp's character? Is
Ooh,
that?
I don't know.
I'm
Maybe.
feeling that's it because that's like the most famous kill from that movie.
Hangs him with the bed sheets, slits his throat, lights him on fire, or cuts him in half while in bed.
That last one.
The last one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Number 9. What are the children's names in The Others?
Oh,
Is it Sam and Mary, Nicholas and Anne, Benjamin and Sarah, or Patrick and Emily?
what was the second one?
The second one was Nicholas and Anne.
I think it's that one.
Mein Zach. That one. Okay. The second one. Zwei.
Uh-huh.
In Carrie, both the oregano.
Okay, you're gonna have to actually say words because
In-
it's hard enough to understand.
In both the remake and the original, what type of blood does Carrie get covered in?
Pig's blood.
Pig? Oh, pig blood? You're confident?
Yes, pig's
And
blood.
confident?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 11. I thought there were only
Yeah,
10.
what the hell?
Hold on.
You're
It's almost
lying.
done. It's almost done. When is Rosemary's due date in Rosemary's Baby?
Oh God.
July 15th? October 7th? March 15th? or June 28th?
I've actually never seen Rosemary's Baby.
Oh,
So.
spoiler alert!
June 28th.
June 28th, the last one.
Sure.
Okay. Number 12. So we're almost there.
Okay.
It's the last one. In Alfred Hitchcock's classic film Psycho, how much money does Marion Crane steal from her employers before fleeing the base motel? Did you never see the show?
No, I didn't.
That's not in the show. It's in the movie,
Okay.
which takes place after the show. 10,000, 25,000, 30,000, or 40,000.
I'm gonna say 25,000,
25,000 Kruger.
and that's my final answer.
Okay. The last one is, how would you rate this quiz? I loved it. It was pretty okay.
As
or not
long
great?
as it's you,
Not great. We'll just say
strange
not great.
man, I'm good.
We'll just do we'll do the results really quick, and then we will get
Okay.
into the topic. I will hand it back over to Nick. Nick, you got 10 out of 12 correct.
Damn it!
Yes. Ha ha.
Which ones did I get right?
You
Or
wanna-
which ones did I get wrong?
You want to see the ones you got wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you were doing pretty good. Pretty good
Until the last two.
until. How does Freddy Krueger kill Rod in A Nightmare on Elm Street?
Okay, this one.
Hangs him with the bed sheets.
I don't know. Remember
It was
who
Rod.
the fuck is Rod?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it. And it was the last question. How much
The money
money
one.
does Marion Crane steal from her employers?
What was it? 30,000?
It was 40,000 Kruger.
Damn, girl.
Was a lot.
Yeah.
Even back then.
So you're telling me that I got the
Zin.
due date for Rosemary's Baby right, and I've never seen that movie.
Yeah, you pretty much
That's a good guess.
you pulled that out of your ass.
I definitely did. Well, we've established, sir, I know you're new to the show, but we've established that both Nick and I have a particular talent of pulling shit out of
Well,
their
you both
ass.
have wonderful asses.
Thank you. That's kind of
Here-
forward. I
here,
just meant
here you go. Here. Thank you. I keep him.
you keep him.
I keep him.
just in general.
Yeah, I have an extra closet. I just keep him in there.
So you have Marley and that strange man.
He also eats cat food, so it's kind of a win-win. I just have to pay. I just have to buy the one food for both of them,
All right.
as long as it's enough. You know? The topic. You want to go into the topic? How'd
I
you
don't know
do?
if I want to go into the topic.
Why? You
I
did
feel
pretty
a little
well.
uncomfortable with you keeping strange men in your apartment and
Well,
making
he
them
looks
eat.
exactly like
cat
Nosferatu.
food.
I thought it was on theme.
He eats cat food, man.
So
Cook him some actual food.
that's all he wants.
You
That's
need
what
to
he
be a
asked
good
for.
host, all right?
I've asked. I'm like, hey, you want some grilled cheese?
Okay,
I'm
well,
lactose intolerant.
then
You
you
want
need
it?
to call someone because it's strange.
It is strange, but I thought he would be a great host for the quiz.
It was certainly entertaining.
Wow, I'm glad. Let's get into the main topic,
Yes, the main topic.
which is Monster Mash. This was kind of the all-encompassing one that we kind of missed out on for all the other ones. I know we did. We did zombies, which
We
I
did do
guess
Zambinos.
Zambinos, but we didn't do like vampires, werewolves, creatures that come back to
Right.
life.
Yeah, so
I mean, you know
this
what I
was
mean.
kind of like taking all of the classic Universal monsters and putting them into one. So you got
Indeed,
Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Dracula, Frankenstein, Mummy, that kind of thing.
indeed.
Did you watch?
Any of the
Any-
originals?
No, not any of the originals, but what did you watch for the thing?
I watched. So I thought to myself, I sat down and I'm like, all right, I have time before I have to wake up in 2 hours. So what movie am I going to watch? It needs to be a creature feature was
Yes.
what I was kind of aiming for.
Different, but okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you can't split hairs when you're trying to look
Well,
stuff
okay,
up on
so-
Netflix unless you're looking for an exact thing.
So creature feature would be like Anaconda or Crawl.
A specific,
Yeah.
different kind of like
yeah, like a
realistic
like a
creature.
giant animal. That
a giant
wants to
animal.
kill
Right.
you.
Lake Placid.
Yeah.
That kind of
Or
thing.
Pumpkinhead, I think I would classify that as.
See, now he's kind of like he has a series though. I don't know. I feel like that would be kind of a different thing because he's like not a giant version of a creature like them,
Right.
or
I think you're getting hung up on the term monster, which you can have. Like that's just a very generic term.
right.
But when I thought of Monster Mash, I was specifically thinking of the classic Universal ones.
Right.
But that's just me. So,
So
if
you
you want
wanna-
if you went a different way, that's totally fine.
Okay. Are you saying I broke the rules and I lost?
I'm saying you bent the rules.
I bet. Listen,
and
I don't
because
have
of
a large.
English
I don't have a large library. As you can see, I have Webster's Dictionary right there, a thesaurus,
and Twilight.
and Twilight. I only have the 3 books right there.
So you can make sure you know all the words in Twilight.
Yes, thesaurus is for all the things like I could. Thesauri. I have 2 of them.
Thesaurium.
One of them I wrote inside. No.
How dare you, sir?
So I picked a movie. I'm like, okay, I need a monster movie, right? I didn't go Universal route. I'm
That's
sorry.
fine. No, that's fine.
But so I went on Netflix, typed in monster, and I found the ultimate movie.
Okay.
It's called, you want to guess?
The ultimate movie.
No. That's a great title for a movie, though. That'll sell so many tickets. No, it's called The Monster.
Not Monster.
Not Monster.
The Monster.
No, that's an Academy Award-winning film right there.
With child abuse.
Yes. Oh, hey, guess what? It's on theme because this movie, The Monster, not related to the other film at all, is about child neglect, child abuse, and getting eaten alive in the rain by a monster.
Cool.
In the woods.
Cool.
So it's a low budget A24 DirecTV film.
Interesting.
DirecTV Studios.
First on DirecTV.
Yes. And then on Netflix.
Well,
so
yeah, but it was on DirecTV first.
Okay. Like exclusivity matters anymore. Because it has Zoe Kazan, who you may recognize from Happy Thank You More Please, which was directed by the guy from How I Met Your Mother. Revolutionary Road, Meek's Cutoff, Ruby Sparks, The Big Sick more recently, and The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
In the Big Sick, was she the main girl?
Yes.
Okay. Across from Camille Nanjiani?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
And this movie was actually directed by the guy and you'd be surprised by this. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Did you ever see The Strangers?
I did. Yeah.
Directed by the same guy.
Oh. Interesting.
But this movie, it starts off actually really well directed and really well acted. The movie starts off with a girl who's like packing up her stuff, getting ready for the day, getting ready for what seems to be a trip. And then she has to go over to her mom, who, by the way, Zoe Kazan, when you have her side by side with her daughter in this movie, looks like 18, 17, which I believe is supposed to be important to the it's supposed to be important to the story. But when I looked up the actress who plays the daughter in the movie's age, she's like 16 by the time that they're filming this movie, but she's playing like
an
11, 12-year-old.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
But
that's not that abnormal.
But she's like smaller.
They have 30-year-olds playing high school students half the time.
Looking at you, Tobey Maguire. Just gonna go back to him.
Yeah.
But it's just odd because they look like it's only like 2-3 year difference between the mother and the daughter, which kind of threw me off for a large portion of the movie. And you're supposed to believe that there was obviously there's a struggle between who's the real parent because the daughter is more mature.
Right.
The mother has obvious drinking issues, which plays into the main theme of neglect and all of that. But
sounds like a real upper.
It's a real upper. I mean, most horror movies, are
like Hereditary.
Yeah. It's a real
good feel-good movie.
Feel-good movie. You'll lose your head. Because the character loses their head. But they're going on a trip because the mother, Zoe, I'll just call her, is basically dropping off her daughter to stay with her dad. Because you find out later there's a reason why she can't take care of her anymore. For a large portion of the film, you're assuming that it's because she just doesn't care about her daughter.
Right.
Like she's just...
You're left in the dark on exactly why this character has been moved.
But over the course of the movie, because the whole movie is them taking a trip and then they eventually crash after they hit a wolf.
Yeah.
And they're caught in the rain and they call for help. That's where you get, all right, they're stuck here, now what's going to happen, all the horror stuff. But throughout the film, there are flashbacks as to what's really going on.
Gotcha.
And so I don't want to go too much into the plot and too much into the horror.
It's fairly, it has maybe like spoiler heavy.
Yeah, there's a lot of story-based spoilers there that I don't want to ruin. But I kind of want to get into the creature effects a little bit without
Okay,
spoiling it,
yeah.
because there is an actual monster that comes and kills people.
So you're phrasing this in kind of a way that makes me think that the monster design is not good.
It's so when you look at the monster design of the original Xenomorph in Alien, you think to yourself, yeah, that's a guy in a suit, but that's 1979 in the original film, and they do a lot of quick cuts to the
Right.
alien, but they don't always show like the full monster in
Right,
its full
yeah.
form. For the most part, this movie, I thought they were going to get away with not showing the monster basically at all,
Right.
because I thought it was supposed to be
Kind of like a Jaws thing.
a Jaws thing.
Less is more.
But also kind of like, I thought it was trying to lean towards like a metaphor when it comes to the mother's drinking.
Like Babadook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an actual physical monster that they don't explain, which, of course, fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain every monster or the origin of everything.
You hear
But-
that, Quiet Place? You
Yeah.
don't have to do it.
You don't have to do it.
You can just leave it there.
Hey, I'm excited for the sequel, but don't give me backstory. Just give me more spookies.
You're gonna
Give me
get-
more
you're gonna-
Emily Blunt.
you're gonna get backstory.
I'm going to get backstory. That's okay. It's still written and directed by John Krasinski,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
did a fantastic job in the first one.
Kind of weird because he's dead.
Yeah, but you know, Jim's fine.
Spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen A Quiet Place.
Yeah, but if you haven't seen it at this point,
Yeah.
you know, you missed out. They probably had it spoiled already. It's one of those cultural moments,
Yeah.
you know. But this movie, basically, the reason I brought up Alien is because it was really well designed, even in 1979. This movie, the monster design it's a guy in a trash bag.
Nice.
So
It's Frank from Always Sunny.
yeah, it's
I'm the trash man.
I still want to say that the newest season is fantastic, by the way. Of It's Always Sunny. Have
Yeah,
you caught up
yeah.
and everything? Did you watch the zoo episode?
No, I'm behind. I still need to catch. I'm like 3 seasons behind.
But you're okay. You could go at your own
Yeah,
pace and
yeah.
stuff.
But I know that stuff is good, so I want to watch it.
We should hang out and just watch a bunch of episodes. That's good. But the monster design, like the actual headpiece and the teeth and everything, look great. But then when they actually have a wide shot of them fighting the monster towards the end, spoiler, there's a moment where the character is attacked and hurt, and it's very obviously a guy like hunched over in like a trash baggy,
Yeah.
stretchy, gooey kind of.
Well, this is like an independent film.
It's a very
right?
independent film. It's A24 still, and they're doing a lot with less.
Yeah.
Which okay, it's
Keeping
fine.
budgets low, so your profit is higher.
Right, but whereas this film shows a lot of the monster, the reason I brought up Alien again, which I know is a high watermark, but
yes, it is.
it does a lot with a little.
It
you
does.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It barely shows the monster, and it makes it more terrifying whenever
Mhm.
you do see it.
Yeah.
So by the end of the film, when they're fighting at full force, you see all of it. It's just like, come on, man. This whole movie, like 80% of the movie, is actually really scary because you never know when the monster's
And
going to
then it
attack.
just kind of trips over itself at the end.
Yeah, a little bit. So I mean, it's okay, but it's like if you don't want to actually watch a actual scary movie,
Okay.
because the monster doesn't show up until like more than halfway through the movie, and then the last. Oh, by the way,
Oh.
a specific character. I'm not going to say who. A specific character dies, and they didn't have to die.
Ah, that's always great.
It's the worst,
Yeah.
and it's the very. It's just. I would give it like a play it in the background kind of horror movie. It
Yeah.
wasn't that great.
Yeah.
This was a movie I didn't see, and then the movie I was going to see. I'm gonna do this really quick.
Yeah.
Movie I was going to see, but didn't have time. I was going to watch The Host, directed by Bong Joon Ho.
Yes. Yeah. He's
which
got,
is
his new movie Parasite is making the
Yes.
rounds.
yes, basically why I was
Yeah.
going to see it, because I was going to be like, hey, I watched this movie because Parasite is making the rounds. Everyone's super excited about it, saying amazing things about it.
Yeah.
I've
and
loved this director since 2006.
the response for it is so good that I think we can expect a wider release too.
Oh, very
Yeah.
soon. Yeah. There were some showings earlier this week, but they were like an hour away.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna buy tickets, and I was like, that's not worth
like
it.
the Angelica or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't want to,
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. but it wasn't worth it, because by the time I get out of the movie and come back home, I would have not been able to sleep and then go back to work the next
Yeah.
day. So the movie I did watch instead, and I didn't even finish, was the movie you walked in on me watching while we were about to start.
The Silent Hill.
Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Just Silent Hill.
Just
Not the Silent
Hill. This hill is very silent.
Shh. Based off the series of video games, I was watching the first one, not Silent Hill Revelation 3D. I did not watch that one. You can't make me watch that one.
I'm not making you watch it.
Stop telling me to watch it.
I have never said anything of the sort.
So you've never seen Silent Hill 1?
That was, I believe, I know, you're going to get annoyed when I keep doing this. I think we've talked about this before.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
On the podcast?
On the previous podcast, yeah.
Last week.
No, not the previous as in last week, but
Nick mentioned the name.
Nicknames movies.
Yeah, season 1.
The first and only.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when we were talking about Detective Pikachu, we were talking about video games.
Oh, good video game movies. Yeah.
And
I
had mentioned I had never seen Silent Hill, but I mentioned it again when I walked in, and you were like, "Oh, I didn't."
Yeah, because you were right at a scene when a character's getting their skin ripped off.
Yeah, they got fucking flayed, man.
Yeah, it's so that movie came out in 2007.
Yeah.
Some of the CGI is dated. There's some burnt up kids that show up at the beginning of the movie, that are like, "Oh, yeah, let me hug me, mommy," and they're like, there's lava coming out of their skin and everything.
Specifically, they sound like that.
Yeah, that's. Well, they're burned up, man. 3rd-degree burns and all that. So that CGI wasn't great, but the pyramid head, which I believe mostly is a physical, it's like 7 foot tall guy.
Suit,
I think it's actually the same guy who plays Michael Myers now.
Really?
I don't quote me on that.
Okay, I won't.
But yeah, they had an actual. Don't stop writing it. They had an actual guy, but like the pyramid, I think is fake and stuff, and then obviously the big sword. Which have you played the games at least?
I play a little bit of the games. I know who Pyramid Head is.
Okay, yeah. So that look and the CGI of like the paint coming up and like melting off. It's kind of dated.
Uneven.
But it's like 12 years old at this point,
yeah.
So obviously things have changed. I think it's still in the top 5 best video game adaptions of all time. Detective Pikachu, Silent Hill. Trying to think.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Nope. You go to hell with that. I mean, I'll think about it. But there's been good ones out there.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to watch that and finish it. Great horror movie. Great popcorn flick. A lot of gruesome stuff in there.
It seemed like it.
It's very faithful to the adaptation, which is why I mentioned it as being the best. But yeah, I'm excited to finish that. And other than that, that's all I watched.
Nice.
All right, end of podcast.
and see.
All right, tell me.
So mine, I started off with a movie that I have maybe not. I don't know if I've done it on the podcast, but I have generally sang the praises of this movie, and unfortunately, it was not as widely received as I feel like it should have been.
Right,
and that's the 2011 Fright Night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
with Colin Farrell.
Anton Yelchin, R.I.P.
You say Yeltnik?
Wait, how's it?
Yelchin.
Anton
Yelchin.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is a really underrated movie.
It's got Christopher Mintz-Plasse in it too.
Yeah, straight off of Superbad.
Yeah,
a couple years off of Superbad. Superbad was 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really fun kind of B movie schlocky.
Yeah.
Black comedy. It definitely doesn't take itself too seriously, and I think it's not overly long either.
Yeah,
it's like an hour 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think most horror movies, I think they even horror comedies, they try to keep it a little.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about Silent Hill. That's actually 2 hours 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a little long for a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the people who were behind the 2011 Fright Night were big fans of the original Fright Night.
Funny that you mentioned that. I have even after I saw the 2011 one, I have still yet to see the original.
What?
So the original, coincidentally, was done by Tom Holland, and I previously talked about one of Tom Holland's other movies. Not Spider-Man. Not the Spidey guy.
Holland. Yeah.
He did Child's Play. The original Child's Play.
Right.
He also did the original Fright Night, And then the director for the 2011 one was Craig
Gillespie,
Yes,
who directed. Hold on.
he did I, Tanya, Lars and the Real Girl.
Didn't he also direct? Hold on.
He's supposedly directing the upcoming
Cruella movie
in 2021.
I think that's. I was thinking of just Friday Night, I guess.
Yeah, I, Tanya, and Lars and the Real Girl are probably his.
Great films.
Yeah,
Not the films that you think of when you think of that director.
Right, and again, Fright Night does not take itself too seriously. The whole basic premise, if you're unfamiliar, is Anton
Yelchin.
Just
Yelchin.
Yeah. Anton Yelchin is this high school kid whose neighbor, Jerry,
love it,
turns out to be a vampire.
Right.
And that's a whole bit with really Jerry the vampire, because he's trying to convince people that his neighbor's a vampire, and okay, yeah, I'm going to believe your neighbor is a vampire and his name is Jerry.
Yeah.
But he actually is. And yeah, Jerry has been going around and feeding, and so people are vanishing and such.
Ooh. So it's kind of wasn't the. I want to say the story is very similar to Suspiria.
Yes. So sorry, continue.
I was just gonna say Suspiria is very reminiscent of being kind of paranoid as to your new next door neighbor who you don't know anything about.
Do you
and
mean
all of a sudden
Disturbia?
Disturbia. Yeah. I'm sorry, not Suspiria.
I was like, where is he going with this?
Well, no, that was a different movie.
The Dance Studio.
That's the Dance Studio one. That's
Suspiria.
Dante Allegri.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, the screenplay I believe that they use is the exact same one that Tom Holland wrote for the original.
Wait, so it's word for word the same as the original?
From what I understand, it is almost exactly the same.
Interesting.
Yeah. David Tennant is also in this.
Yes, the Tennant's doctor.
He's really fun, and not Tony.
Yep. No, not Toni Collette. I know.
Yeah, Toni Collette. Yeah.
Is it Toni Collette?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not Hereditary Mom?
Isn't that Toni Collette?
Nope.
It is Hereditary Mom.
It is. Toni Collette. Okay, you got me. And then yeah.
I didn't get you. You got you.
Well, because I was thinking of Nurse Jackie. Who's Nurse Jackie?
Soprano's wife.
Yes, Soprano's wife. We need to get her name because I already feel bad for not knowing. Edie Falco.
Yeah.
Okay, so I confused Edie Falco and Toni Collette. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Don't forget Imogen Poots.
Yes, she is the girlfriend
Poots.
in the movie.
Sorry. She was in 28 Weeks Later.
Definitely check it out. I think more people need to see this, and it's actually really hard to find.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cult.
Yeah, I've been looking for a print of it for a while,
mm-hmm.
and yeah, I don't think they have it in print anymore. And it was at a loss of like 20,000, I think. I know it didn't do very well.
Only 20,000? You mean 20 million?
20 million, yeah.
You said 20,000.
Yeah,
I was like, that's not that bad.
20 million. Yeah.
Ticket sales.
Your overhead is 20,000. Okay, yeah. Yeah, 20 million, I think.
I think it was a really fantastic movie. This was actually came out whenever I was working at the movie theater, so I saw it a couple of times, and I was laughing my head off. Whenever I saw it, I remember it was like me and like 4 other people, and that was the day that it came out.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
I saw it in theaters too.
What else? When else came out when that came out? You go ahead.
The second movie I watched. Well, I should also say, and I'm not going to go too far into this. I always watch like a bunch of Abbott and Costello monster movies.
Oh, nice.
Every year because I grew up with those, so I love watching Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, The Mummy, that kind of thing. Again, I won't talk too much about that because if you like it, you like it.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I also watched from the 1980s, Monster Squad.
Hell yeah.
So have you seen this?
It's been a long time. But it's in the same campy B-movie horror feel to it, right?
Yeah, it is a campy B-movie. The whole
from the 80s.
Premise is Van Helsing, it starts in the past in Transylvania. Van Helsing goes to vanquish Dracula, and there's like the ceremony that they're performing over like this magical stone.
Right.
They don't explain why, but eventually a black hole opens. It
Oh, no.
Sucks them all in.
Ah.
And then we go to present day, and the rest of the movie is Dracula wants to take over the world, and to do that, he has to get this gem or stone or whatever, and break it, because that is what's it's very weirdly explained. It doesn't go too far into it because you're not there for that. You're there for the monsters. What's going on over there? You're making a lot of faces.
Because I'm looking at the year 2011 in film.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, reminiscing about all these movies coming. Cars 2, Transformers: Dark of the Fallen, Green Lantern.
Oh yeah.
Bad
Good.
Teacher.
So good year for movies.
It was a lot of shitty movies in 2011, but there was a lot of horror movies. You got Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2. I'm just trying to think of the movies that came out like the same time as
Friday
Night. And Cowboys and Aliens, Friends with the Benefits, Captain America: The First Avenger, Crazy Stupid Love, Final Destination 5, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So many movies, dude. So many. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I had it. Hold on. I have Fright Night, 30 Minutes or Less. The In-Betweeners movie, Conan the Barbarian. This was not a good year. Ides of March. I was trying to think of the other movies that people were seeing instead of this movie. Oh, they're probably seeing Spy Kids 4.
Yeah, probably. Pretty sure that actually did do really well.
Yeah. Or The Help.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
The Help.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking
Okay. That was totally worth it.
goddamn Emma Stone. So Monster Squad.
It's unprompted. There's no backstory.
I actually like
Emma Stone.
I like Emma Stone too, so it's unwarranted.
I think she has the same type of eyes as like Zoe Deschanel and her sister that are like they pierce your soul
They do.
when they look directly into you.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because you're so used to seeing so many brown eyes or dark green or dark blue eyes. When you see light blue eyes,
Yeah.
it's just like, whoa.
What are you saying to me right now?
I have bluish greenish eyes. Do you have,
I have
bright
light,
blue eyes?
I have light blue eyes.
I don't. I've never noticed it.
Oh, fuck you.
No, maybe it's the dark hair and the
All
glasses
right,
and the
all
beard.
right.
I just assume you have brown eyes.
God damn.
Brown-eyed girl. That's not it.
How dare you?
Forgot the name of the song.
I am insulted.
I've never looked deeply into your eyes.
You should.
I really don't.
Anyway, Monster Squad. so,
Go ahead.
so Dracula wants to take over the world. He has to destroy the stone.
Natch.
The kids in this movie, because it's like a bunch of small kids like the Goonies, are teaming up to defeat Dracula. They find a book from Van Helsing that details the ceremony and what happened if Dracula wins, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Typical kids save the world.
They create this group, again, much like the Goonies, called the Monster Squad. They even print out fucking business cards.
Oh, nice.
One of the main kids, his dad's a cop, so that's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
As the plot, and of course he's in like a really terrible marriage. Him and his wife do not like each other. They're going to counseling and that kind of thing. But of course, by the end of the movie, nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody's. Yeah.
And to enact his plan, Dracula has Frankenstein's monster,
Right.
which he has abducted, and then he also employs the help with some kind of hypnotic stone. Again, doesn't really explain it.
It's Dracula.
He employs the help of the Wolfman. He also the Gill Man, I believe they call him, not the creature from the Black Lagoon.
I think there was probably still.
Yes, and then the Mummy. So the whole premise of the movie is it's Shane Black co-wrote this with Fred Drecker, who also coincidentally did House, which I talked about in the first week of our October themes.
House, the
haunted
house movie. Not the good one.
The
bad
B
one.
movie,
Yeah.
coincidentally, which I did not plan. I just discovered that after I watched Monster Squad.
But interconnected webs and all that.
So
you like a specific type of horror movie, and so naturally
Yeah.
you're gonna start seeing the same people.
So it was their idea to do a movie with all the Universal monsters,
Yeah.
but in a way where they won't infringe on the copyright. So everything just looks a little off.
Yeah.
The Wolfman has a really flat face, and he's like super broad-shouldered.
Mm-hmm.
It's very strange. The
Just
mummy,
a hairy guy.
the mummy kind of looks like a mummy from Mummies Alive. I don't know if you ever saw that
I have
show.
not, no.
It's a cartoon show.
Sounds familiar though.
Like the likes of Beast Wars and that kind
Oh,
of thing,
okay.
like shitty TV programming for children.
Nice.
The creature from the Black Lagoon looks like he's just a guy with a gilled body and then a literal fish head.
Of course. It's just really, 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 really low budget.
It's like, you know who that is, but it's not quite the same.
Because he has a fish head.
um,
Oh, I need to rewatch this. It's been a while since I've seen this.
yeah, and then of course, like, they go through the whole rigmarole of like tracking down where there's this whole thing where they have to go to one of their scary neighbors who's German, and there's like a whole thing about that, like, oh, this guy's German, he's scary, and they're like talking about World War II, but then they get in there, he's like super nice, and he's like handing them tea and pie and shit.
Well, that's why I keep the German in my closet.
Yeah. And so they get him to read the book from Van Helsing, so he can kind of like go into detail on the ceremony and everything. It's a B movie.
Yeah.
So your mileage will vary on whether or not you enjoy it or not. I think it is okay.
I think this is one of those movies you put on the TV, sit around the couch with your friends. If you're able to and you're old enough to get a couple of beers and just make fun. Just have fun.
Some alcohol would definitely help. It's just kind of, there's nothing like crazy going on.
Yeah.
Apart from, like, just to give you a tone set, there's a part in this movie where the Wolfman is in front of the kids and they're saying kick him in the balls, but the kid who's able to do that is like, but Wolfmen don't have balls. But then he kicks him and it hurts the Wolfman, and he's like, the Wolfman has balls.
Yeah.
And then immediately after,
of course,
Dracula attacks them, and they're in a scenario where they don't have any weapons to fight him with. However, the fat kid, who they literally call Fat Kid throughout the entire movie.
That's his name?
Yeah. His character growth is
it's fat.
He saves some bullies that confront him in the early bit of the movie.
Right.
And they're like, good job, Fat Kid. And he turns to them and he goes, my name is Horace.
Oh,
that's his
he has a name.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, Horse?
Horace.
Horus?
Like Horace.
Oh, okay. Not like the Egyptian god Horus.
No, exactly. Horace.
No, that's Horus. Horus.
It's the same fucking sound.
No, it's A-C...
Shut up.
I would prefer if his name was Horse.
But anyway, Dracula attacks him, and without any stakes or anything, he has a wrapped up piece of pizza in foil.
Nice.
Which he slaps onto his face, and it burns him because there's garlic on the pizza.
Nice.
That's what you're getting with Monster Squad.
But that's smart. You know, that's what I would do if all I had was a slice of pizza.
So, like, other than that, and like a couple like throwaway gags, I wouldn't say there's like anything spectacular going on here. I'd say there's better B movies and like schlock shit to watch than this. Maybe if I had seen it when I was a kid, I might enjoy it a little bit more.
The nostalgia would be there.
I would really compare it to, quality-wise, like a Disney Channel original movie.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a little bit below that.
So there's not even any, like, kind of stuff for parents or adults who would enjoy
the curse and that kind of stuff. It's a PG-13 movie. There's also the intro, like the first 10 minutes of the movie get a little uncomfortable because they are dropping like some serious like homophobic language.
Ooh.
Like 10 F-bombs in a row.
Okay. So it has not aged well.
Yeah. And like that's the bullies doing that, but like a scene right before the quote unquote good kids, like our protagonists, are kind of doing the same thing. And so there's like no real differentiation between like, you know, if it, like in It, for instance, there's you know, they use that word from the bully like once or twice, I think.
And
it's very clear indicator like this is the villain.
Yeah, because they emphasized
And
that
there's no
scene in that word.
there's no blurred lines or anything like that. I'm like you get into this kind of like messy gray area where like, well, yeah, it's an older movie. Like there's obviously going to be some different values present in these, but I've seen plenty of other 80s movies and the like who have that stuff in it, but it is metered, you know?
Yeah, it's not them throwing a whole bunch of it.
It's not a kid on Xbox Live throwing it around,
Yeah.
which is what this kind of smacks. Honestly, I almost turned it off.
It made you that uncomfortable.
It was really bad. But after that initial intro, it never comes up again, which it makes it even weirder, honestly.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, your mileage will vary.
Do you feel like, and I know there has been hints and rumors, do you feel like them updating it and making it more modern, this could still be used?
It's funny that you mentioned that because a couple of years ago, and I read this afterwards, they were actually talking about doing a reboot.
Yeah.
And a remake for it. But the fan backlash of it, because this is kind of like a cult status movie now. The fan backlash was kind of big, so they eventually dropped it. And I think it was like 2017.
This was before they
fairly recent.
Before Dark Universe was trying to become a thing.
So maybe down the line, provided the people who really enjoy this movie are, you know, they don't pay attention to them, I guess.
Yeah. Several decades.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's not. Again, I think there are better B movies to watch.
I would think, you know, the original Fright Night is up there.
Yes, definitely. If you had to choose between the two, I would definitely say, certainly the 2011 Fright Night, which I've actually seen.
Right. I would say the same thing about the original.
But from what I understand, the original is pretty much the exact same.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely give that a shot. You know?
It's a very specific, like The Librarian, I believe, is another B horror movie kind of schlock. It's tongue in cheek, is what it is.
Right,
it's its own genre.
It knows it's bad.
Yeah, Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness are in that same genre.
And to its credit, Monster Squad does know that.
Yeah,
it's never playing anything like super serious, like it thinks it's high art or anything like that. It knows exactly what it is. I think its results are a little mixed.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay to mixed.
Yeah.
You know?
So it just depends on if you have the nostalgia for it and you're already a fan, or if you're interested in that kind of genre of film.
Funnily enough, I don't know if you remember when I watched The Goonies for our 80s week. I came away with that feeling fairly similar in that I think I would have enjoyed it more if I had seen it as a kid growing up, because I could attach to the characters more. I feel like Goonies, even as a kid, I would probably like Goonies more than Monster Squad. And that's coming from someone who really enjoyed all the Universal classic monsters growing up. I think Goonies is, and that's not. I don't think that's like controversial to say or anything. That Goonies is
Steven Spielberg.
Goonies is the better movie, but they're similar movies, similar genres. You know, I think in the instance between choosing the from the two, I go with Goonies.
Yeah. So you got plenty of good options there. That's what we watched.
Yeah, that's the wrap for our scary month.
Oh no, it's gone. Did you enjoy the quiz?
I did enjoy the quiz.
You're welcome.
A little weird the presentation, but yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
You know, this isn't going to be the last time we do a theme or anything like that.
Yes, we do have things in the works.
We do.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
For another holiday themed,
which may or may not be close.
It's not Thanksgiving.
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day. That's what it is. No, it's Armistice Day.
Yeah, there you go.
Very, very
solemn.
Serious. Yeah.
Anyway,
let's get into the news.
Shall we move to the news?
But when will I get to do another quiz?
Go away.
Go back in your closet.
Oh boy.
Fine, I hate you.
Oh, I forgot to also mention that the real quick, the makeup and creature designs in Monster Squad were actually done by Stan Winston, who I don't know. He did Terminator.
He did not it, The Thing.
Yes, did he?
I believe so.
He did. I know he did Terminator. He did work on Jurassic Park, and he also did some Xenomorphs and Aliens.
He's known as the like ultimate practical effects makeup
Yes.
when it comes to makeup artists.
T2 specifically, he did that.
So yeah.
He also did Pumpkinhead.
Yay.
Yay.
Hang on, I want to look him up. Oh, I'm thinking of someone else.
Poor Stan.
Michael Jackson's Ghosts, which I have never seen or heard of. How to Make a Monster. No, he did. Hold on.
I thought John Carpenter did most of the designs.
He worked with Rob Bottin on his update of the science fiction horror classic The Thing that year that brought them prominence in Hollywood. So, well, fuck you. They also worked on The Wiz.
Oh.
And Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh, yeah, that was the thing. That was the thing that I saw when I was just making sure I remembered all of Stan Winston stuff, is that he worked on the Star Wars Holiday Special.
I'm pretty sure he wants to forget that.
Yeah,
So
I think most people do. Anyway, news time.
News time!
Nick.
News.
Nick,
Yes.
how many weeks do we have to go where we start the news with Joker? At least one more.
I'm guessing one more.
Officially, Joker has become the highest grossing R-rated film of all time.
Yeah.
And to add on to that, it is also the first R-rated film ever to cross $800 million.
Good for.
Good job, Joker.
Good job.
Yeah.
You're doing the lobster clap.
Yeah, lobster claps.
You have to hold up your phone. Good on Joker. I think of all the rated R films that are in the top 10, because Ryan Reynolds tweeted a picture and congratulated him.
Congratulations.
I think out of all of them, not including Logan, which I would prefer to, be higher up.
Yeah.
Joker is a fantastic film, and it is well deserved of its prominence and success.
And
hopefully, this spawns more films like it. I don't necessarily want an origin for every single thing, like the Penguin or whatever.
I hope that's not what they take away from it.
I hope so too.
I hope what they take away from it is there's room for like variation.
Good
in
what
the
if
genre.
stories.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason why what ifs are so popular in the actual comic realm,
Right?
because you get a little glimpse into something that would probably never happen.
Yeah, and it's a glimpse. It's
Yes.
not a whole thing.
I don't want to run. Well, sometimes it's really neat when you get a whole run like that, but it's few and far between.
Yes, it's very rare.
Moving on.
Yes.
From great money making to very bad money making.
Ooh, tell me.
Gemini Man.
Yeah, fuck
is
you.
expected to end its theatrical run $75 million under budget.
Now that's not, playing with money numbers. It's not a huge amount.
It's not.
But no. I mean, that is a lot.
I mean, yeah.
But considering the budget for the film, just in
I
general,
think they used like 100 on marketing alone. 100 million.
It's way too much. Because they shot it in 120 frames per second, 3D. Did facial reconstruction for like every other shot with Will Smith.
Yeah.
De-aging, all of that stuff. It's just it looked bad.
I agree. Even Casey, when we saw the trailer for it, even she, who is notoriously easy on movie trailers,
right?
Even she went like, "Oof, I don't know about that one."
Do you remember the specific shot where young Will Smith is trying to hit older Will Smith with the motorcycle to the side,
and it like flies at the car?
No, not like him
popping
the clutch and then like throwing it at him. I mean like sideswiping him with it.
There's so much that I try to block from my mind.
Well,
and it all kind of runs together, honestly.
Yeah, it's just it looks like it's made by a YouTuber who's just learning how to do After Effects.
Yeah. So no shock there.
Yeah,
but still
sorry,
sad
Will Smith.
Well, he's doing all right. Sorry, Ang Lee, because the guy can't seem to catch a break.
He needs to.
He gets like 8 years of terrible movies, and then he'll get a good one, and then another 8 years of terrible movies.
He's not had a good run. What was his last good one?
All I can think of is Life of Pi.
Yeah, Life of Pi, After Earth, Hulk. I mean, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
That was
technically,
before Life of
that was
Pi, though.
way before,
Yeah.
but still,
That's how he initially.
that's how Hollywood,
Yeah.
got onto him. Because Hulk was right after
He was
that.
part of Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, Brokeback Mountain,
I didn't know that.
2006. Yeah, 2006.
Memoirs of a Geisha.
That was
wait,
him?
That's not him. No, just a cover that looks really similar to it.
Lust and Caution.
Yeah.
That's actually a good one. I've seen that.
Uh,
It had the word lust in it, so.
that's why you watched it.
Yeah.
Taking Woodstock. I saw that movie
Ah,
and I
yeah.
remember nothing about it.
I remember nothing about it either. So forgettable. So
Yeah, that's about it.
he's had really no success except for 2 films.
Yeah. Well, Brokeback.
He's like M. Night Shyamalan.
It's 3. It's Brokeback, Crouching Tiger, and Life of Pi, which coincidentally also had a tiger in it.
So you would say Life of Pi is successful?
Yeah, it made good bank.
I just didn't like it as a movie, I guess.
I mean, yeah, and it took some liberties with the source material, but in terms of being a success,
That's true.
it was-
Okay,
it
that's
was
fair.
successful.
That's fair. What's the next news story?
Next news
Tell
story.
me, news man.
We
Give me
have
the
some-
news.
Oh, we have some casting news on Amazon's Lord of the Rings series.
Oh, okay. Tell me this.
Joseph Mawle. Mawle.
Momoa.
No, not him.
Tell me Aquaman isn't Lord of the Rings.
No, he's not. Not yet, anyway.
He
you
will be.
may remember Male, and I swear to God, I'm butchering that.
It's
I
mole.
have to be.
It's chocolate and chicken. It's delicious.
Stop. He played Benjen Stark in Game of Thrones.
Ben just. Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
He's
He's actually a really great actor.
yeah. Supposedly, he's playing the villain.
Ooh.
We know for sure
So he
he's
won't have. It's like
he-
it'll be covered with a mask
yeah,
or something.
we know for sure he's been cast in the series, but the thought is he's going to be the villain.
Okay.
So yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
So is he the only major casting for that show?
No, actually, Will Poulter.
Will Poulter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be the protag.
He has very distracting eyebrows.
He does a little bit.
He has very tall
And you know him when
eyebrows.
you see him, and it's hard to not think, oh, that's Will right there.
Yeah, he was the one. I mean, we both saw him in Help Me Out, the horror movie, Midsommar.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
He was in that.
Yeah.
His eyebrows are always like, what?
Will Smith?
No, Will Poulter. Did I say Will Smith?
No. You
I'm
were just
sorry.
making the noises.
Woohoo! That's 2 weeks in a row. That's 2 weeks in a row I've done that.
Counter's still going.
It's still going every week. Will Smith. Woohoo! I'm going to hell.
We have a few Rise of the Skywalker news stories.
Oh yeah, because the
Um,
final trailer premiered in between.
The final trailer dropped last Monday, or this past Monday.
Yes.
Nick, when we left last, we both said that we were not going to watch the trailer because we didn't need to. Tell me, what did you ask
I
me?
stayed up and watched.
And then what did I respond?
I saw it too.
Yeah.
We can't help it, all right?
I'm weak. I'm a weak, feeble man
You
who
are.
just likes Star Wars.
So-
I don't-
so
I
mu-
can't
We
help
could be
it.
excited. We can still see this, but hey, it's as long as you don't think about it, as long as you don't watch the ones that break it down like
Yeah.
fucking frame by frame,
My hope is
you should be good. You should be good.
with Abrams back at the helm, he can kind of course correct a little bit. And I'm not like a huge Abrams fan
Mhm.
anyway, and I've said this before, I don't hate The Last Jedi. I just have like some fairly big problems with it.
Yeah, just story-wise.
It's a very uneven narrative.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see possibly what Abrams can do with the new characters that they introduced in The Last Jedi that kind of got the shaft, as well as the older character, or quote unquote older characters.
but yeah, the main
Like I
three.
still think Finn he got super shortchanged in Last Jedi, and
just in this whole trilogy, he's been shortchanged.
well, I think Force Awakens he did okay because he went toe to toe with Kylo at the end there. I mean, he fucking
Because
Didn't
it was a
work,
switcheroo.
but-
It was
yeah.
a switcheroo.
Right.
His whole narrative was to get to that point, and then he's not actually the person you're
Yeah.
supposed to be following. So
So aside from the trailer dropping, or at least because of it, Rise of the Skywalker broke the record for first hour ticket pre-sales.
I got you. I got your ticket, bro. I got us tickets.
Yes,
for Thursday night.
I also bought Casey a ticket, so she's coming with us.
Oh shit. Well then, We need to talk about that.
Uh-oh.
about seating arrangements and stuff.
No, I already got it because I saw your seats that you bought.
Oh, okay.
And so I bought the one right next to it.
Oh, you're smart. You're dude.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. We need to high five and make out. Let's do this.
We'll make out later.
All right.
Yeah, apparently it sold 45% more than Endgame. Now, this is just through Atom Tickets, which is like a specific thing.
Yeah, go Adam.
Hey, Adam.
No, get out of here, Adam.
But it's likely that it will it's transferring over to other sales avenues.
It's that's very fair to say.
Yeah. Additionally, the runtime for the movie was revealed.
It's the longest one.
It is the longest one. Do you know the difference between it and The Last Jedi?
Was The Last Jedi the previous?
It was the previous longest.
I want to say, the difference.
The time difference.
Time difference. I want to say, 5 minutes?
Less than that.
3 minutes?
3 minutes. Last Jedi was 2 hours and 32 minutes. Rise of Skywalker is going to be 2 hours 35.
So, hey, guess what? You won't see the difference because it's all in the credits.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
beginning part. It's like, who cares?
Yeah, it's all.
It's more footage. Yeah. It's like with Avengers Endgame when they told us the runtime for that. I'm like, that's awesome. I'm glad we're going to get a lot of that content. But
well, and on the flip side, that was actually a long movie.
It was.
It just had a lot of credits as well.
Yeah. It's like 10 minutes of credits.
You know, did you know
More
there's
than
a connection now between Quentin Tarantino and Avengers Endgame?
I did not. Give me some of that sweet connection.
So
sauce.
Avengers Endgame, I don't know if you remember, was re-released into theaters with some extra footage.
Oh, okay.
I
see where you're going with this.
Your experience with that being up to you, I guess. Because it was like 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah, whether it's actually worth.
Yeah. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is re-releasing with 4 additional scenes. And apparently this comes out to about 10 minutes of additional footage.
That's a decent amount of footage, though.
Is it, though?
10 minutes?
Dude, think of that party scene. You left to go to the bathroom.
No. I'm not saying it's going to be beneficial to anything. I'm just saying, just in
like
general,
that's a
for a movie,
Yeah.
10 minutes of additional scenes.
That's fair.
It's not like, hey, we added 10 minutes of credits. It's
It's-
10 minutes of footage.
Here's the thing with these re-releases.
It's Tarantino,
Unless you're
more
saying,
talking.
like, there's 30 minutes of extra footage, it's not going to amount to much. And Tarantino, especially in this film, as we discussed when we reviewed it,
right?
does a lot of tracking shots and shots of feet pressed up against glass.
It was gross.
So really, it's just going to be more of the same. There's nothing going to be. It's not going to change the ending or anything.
I know. But what if it does?
It won't. I promise you.
It will still be hilarious.
Yeah.
I'll
Unless
rewatch that movie for the last 30 minutes.
Unless it's like 3 scenes are a minute long, and the last scene is 7 minutes long, and it's at the end, and then okay.
I mean,
but why don't you just whatever?
You never know. They're actually playing the extended cut at the theater over by where we went to high school.
Yeah. Jeff Loeb, is expected to step down as head of Marvel Television.
I thought that was already confirmed.
So people were thinking that was going to happen.
Okay.
But keep in mind, this is all the news for the past week, so it didn't just happen today.
Right.
People were thinking that was going to happen since Kevin Feige took over as chief operating creative officer or whatever. I don't even remember the term.
Taking over all the C's and
the
O's.
doing all movie narrative, television narrative, all that stuff. So it was thought that Marvel Television was going to be kind of absorbed by I don't even remember what they call the new Marvel TV thing. And then as a result, Jeff Loeb was expected to step down. Yeah. And he officially, well, I guess not officially, but he is still very much expected to step down.
So in the next, at least for the rest of the fiscal year, he'll probably be the head of all of that Marvel stuff.
I don't know if it'll even be that long.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sounds like it's pretty much a done deal.
Oh, I guess, with the launch of all of the new Marvel
stuff.
Yeah.
It
would be sooner.
He was kind of the head guy in getting like all the Netflix Marvel shows up and running, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., all that stuff. But then he also had, what was it? Inhumans, that did really poorly.
Yeah, he didn't,
It was kind of a mixed bag. And apparently, I was reading up on this, but the recent cancellation of that Ghost Rider Hulu show that was going to drop.
Was this his fault?
I don't know if it was his fault, but a lot of people were really shaken up about that. Apparently, they did not expect it at all.
Not expected to get canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, just it came out of nowhere because
Yeah.
it seems
Well, it was
like
from
a pretty
and
done
it was
deal.
from Hulu's side as well, and I believe it was for creative differences. I'm not exactly
So just
positive.
put it on Disney Plus. Come on, man.
Well, we might still see it at some point.
Yeah. If She-Hulk can be a thing, we
well,
can get Ghost Rider.
They're two very different tones, but yeah, I get
You know what I mean?
I get
but
what
if
you're
they
saying.
can get an out there character, we've already had 2 Ghost Rider movies.
Yeah,
Let's talk about those. For
I don't
want to
talk about those.
We'll do an episode on those. I swear to God.
Running off of that, Freeform's Cloak and Dagger was canceled, officially canceled.
Oh yeah.
So it had been missing after its season 2 finale for about 5 months. No one had really heard about if
When
it was
the next
coming
season-
back or
yeah.
anything. It has now been officially canceled. Apparently, they're still doing a crossover with the Runaways, so you might see them there. But the Runaways is supposed to be bad too, so I don't know.
Runaways wasn't great. I don't think I even finished the first season because it just seemed like, granted, this was back when I hadn't seen Riverdale yet. It just seemed like CW, like just drama for
Yeah.
the sake of drama. Like
I heard the first season really dragged.
it
was
really
very
did.
slow.
Like, and it was very straightforward and very by the book, narrative wise when it came to the story and how it was introducing the characters and the villains and all that. It went by the plot and everything, but it was just kind of There's a CGI dinosaur in that show, and it's just like, why is this boring?
Yeah.
Magic.
Oh well.
There's magic in that. Sorry. Yeah. Sad, but not really. I never saw Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, I didn't either. I kind of steered away from all those.
It was just there's already way too much superhero shows. You need to be very, very selective.
Well, and when like a lot of those off to the side ones are kind of varying quality, like
the ones that are
for
like
the most
just on
part,
Freeform,
the Netflix ones, you could generally think like, all right, yeah, I'm not going to be wasting my time with this, unless you're
Iron Fist, Luke Cage.
Can I be honest though? I thought Iron Fist actually picked up towards the end.
I never finished it, so probably got to the point where it picked up, and I was just like, eh.
The beginning was a little rough, but I think it found its footing.
For a character that is entirely based around Kung Fu, and we'll see this with Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
for a character that's based entirely around Kung Fu, how is this boring?
Yeah.
Why is this just like, oh my gosh?
Well,
this-
there's...
come on, man. Come on, Loris. Tyrell. Got him.
Got him. He did.
He did.
Naomi Harris, who is playing Miss Moneypenny,
Moneypenny, yeah.
in the next James Bond movie, has apparently, I mixed apparently and supposedly. She's been talking with director Barry Jenkins from Moonlight.
Yes.
About a Miss Punny, Jesus,
Money.
Miss Moneypenny spinoff.
Which, I mean, if she's going to play the Moneypenny that she played in Skyfall and Spectre, probably more.
I wasn't aware that she was Moneypenny in other movies because I have not seen those other movies.
You haven't seen Spectre?
I haven't seen Spectre or Skyfall.
Oh my!
I stopped at Casino Royale.
Okay, so what we're gonna do?
Okay,
we're gonna watch the Craig films.
Which,
the films
from
made
what
by
I hear is mixed at best.
No, they're films made by a friend of mine named Craig.
Oh yes, also mixed at best.
A lot of nudity. No, we need to watch those again because I feel like you're missing out, especially with Skyfall. At least.
So I had a class in college, a film lighting class actually, in which I watched a portion of Skyfall.
Okay.
It was about 10 or 15 minutes of it. Maybe 20.
It's directed by Sam Mendes.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
The cinematography in that film, man.
Yeah.
So good. Shit, keys.
So a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
we talked about the Steven Universe epilogue special series that they were going to be doing. And
Oh, yeah.
I believe you mentioned the idea like, oh, well, that's neat and all, but it would make more sense if they did an Adventure Time one.
I believe I said something along those lines. Yes.
Well, you're getting your wish.
I'm getting it, and I'm getting it on not HBO.
Yep.
Is it HBO?
HBO Max.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be doing 4-hour-long specials.
The last time a cartoon did this, we got like 5 more seasons of it. Futurama.
Yeah.
So, I mean, cool.
it'll-
If they have more story to tell.
Adventureland. Different. Very different.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Ed-
Emma Stone.
Yeah.
No, that was Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
Adventureland.
Emma Stone, Zombieland.
Zombieland.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Adventure Time Distant Lands is what it'll be called, and the first 2 will drop in 2020.
Very cool. If they, like I said, if they had more story to tell and the creators behind it are enthused about making more of it, then go for it.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Following up with more Disney Plus news, apparently a Hocus Pocus sequel is in development for the streaming.
So
service.
how's the backlash behind this? Is there no backlash?
I actually haven't seen anything. I think most people are for a sequel for Hocus Pocus.
I mean, because
people have been, from what I've seen, they've actually been asking it for a long time. And I know there was one in development a couple of years back, but nothing came of it.
So Bette Midler, it's Bette Midler, right? And
Bette-
Sarah Jessica Parker,
Yep.
and I don't know the third actress's name.
That is correct, yes.
Okay, thank you. That's her full name.
Yeah.
It's a family name. It's very long. They're all behind. I mean, I probably haven't given.
No casting news has been announced. It's the hypothesis is that yes, most people would return for it, but again, it
Could be totally new.
all it
Yeah.
is it's just in development.
Okay.
And in fact, they could go the route of like these are the young witches,
Yeah.
younger witches.
Yeah, daughters, whatever.
Well, they're dead, so that would be. Well, I guess
Spoiler:
they could-
I've never seen it. I'm not kidding.
I know you're
We're going
not.
back and forth on this, and now I'm sad. Poor Sarah Jessica Parker.
The Obi-Wan Disney Plus series has been announced to be 6-hour-long episodes, which I was actually excited to hear about.
Yeah,
I like this length. This is
Me
good
too.
length.
it's a good hunk.
Yeah, I don't need 10. 10's too much.
10's too much, and I feel like if they were 2-hour long specials that they like just
Yeah.
pad out, it's just too much.
And then they once again confirmed that it's taking place between Episode 3 and A New Hope. So
Yeah,
no surprise there. That's kind of what we all
him in the
thought.
desert, just
Yep,
bumbling around.
bumbling around, being a little sand guy.
Hey, look at me! I'm
I can make
Peter
weird,
Guinness.
I can make weird noises with my mouth. It's like a big.
I'm a Tusken Raider. Oh, get away!
Oh God.
Get on your bantha.
In puppet news,
Yeah,
a half. Are you okay?
it's just the Tusken Raider bit.
In puppet news.
In puppet news,
Yes.
Let's
As
get
you
back to
know-
the serious
as
stuff.
you- yes, of course. As you know, we keep track of all the puppet news. A half-hour puppet talk show has been ordered from the Jim Henson Company for Disney Plus.
Which puppets?
It's
they new
their
puppets?
original. Yeah, it's Alien from Space. They have a mission to invade Earth, and they're like kind of surveying it to see how to go about that. But then Ned, the series is called Earth to Ned. Ned the alien gets really invested in pop culture, so he invites celebrities onto his spaceship to interview him.
I really don't like this,
It's
but
kind of like a mixture between the Muppets and Space Coast to Coast, which both of I love. So I'm actually super down for this.
I'm interested. It'll all be. I have to see the puppet design, and I have to see like just kind of the tone that they're going.
I will
with.
show you the puppet design right now.
Just give me that sweet puppet. Give me that felt in my face. Is Ned the one on the left?
It's the one on the left. Yeah.
I hate it. It looks like a blue brain, and it does look like Space Ghost Coast to Coast. It's got that look to it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance was fantastic.
So yeah, they're using the same team that did Dark Crystal. This team was also a part of the canceled Muppets revival that they had in production for Disney Plus. No, not that one, not the Office one.
Oh yeah.
It was the one that they were producing for Disney Plus, and then they canceled it. I think Josh Gad was writing it.
Oh yeah,
which is a real bummer. I would still really love to see another Muppets series.
The Muppets Show, like the original.
Yeah, I think it was called The Muppets Live Again or Ride Again. I don't know.
Live Again?
Live Again.
Did they die?
Yeah. So, yeah, if we're not going to get that, I like that we're getting some Jim Henson content.
I know, just because you can't go wrong with a lot more Muppets.
Yeah, moving on. Mike Flanagan, who did Haunting a Hill House,
yes,
is also doing the upcoming Dr. Sleep, is apparently still talking to Stephen King about doing more
because he's
properties.
been doing a lot.
Yeah, he did Gerald's Game as well. So they're in talks to continue to do adaptations with that team.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think he's there's been early reviews for Dr. Sleep have been really, really positive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For the most part, the general consensus is whenever it tries to be The Shining, it
kind of fumbles.
It kind of fumbles, but whenever it tries to be its own thing, it's really well done. So more Ewan McGregor is doing is having a fantastic year, and I think more Stephen King after having every other Stephen King story adapted now. Awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I haven't seen The Shining in forever. I'll probably rewatch it before I see that.
Yeah,
but.
well, and there's that whole thing where King doesn't really. He thinks Kubrick's The Shining is like one of the worst adaptations ever made. So.
I know, but there is room to say that it's still a great.
Oh, absolutely!
Film.
I love the movie. It's fantastic.
Stephen King also directed a lot of his own adaptations, and they're not good.
Great.
So
yeah. Moving on, Craig Mazin.
Maximum Overdrive. I know it's like the 10th time I brought it up. Maximum Overdrive, where all the trucks and all the machines come to life. He directed that.
Yep.
It's bad.
It is.
Sorry, go on. Maximum Overdrive.
Craig Mazin. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
For Chernobyl
yep.
director.
Yep.
He is teaming up with Ted Elliott, who is the writer of the first Pirates of the Caribbean films, reportedly to reboot the franchise.
Why?
Because they want that money, man.
They want that money, but they saw the way that the last two films did.
But if they can reboot it,
I mean,
know,
yeah, I just feel like it's too soon for a reboot. This is Spider-Man all over again. It's just
Disney.
I feel like they can do any of the other rides.
Look, they are. They're doing Jungle Cruise.
Oh yeah,
Shit. And they tried Haunted Mansion.
Oh, whoa. Oh boy. Why can't they? What are some other Disney rides that they can adapt?
It's a Small World.
Yeah, they could do that. Oh, they did do that. That was the one with the tiny people living in the wall.
The Secret of Arrietty.
Yeah, no, the one before it. A different one.
The box.
Mouse Hunt
with Nathan Lane.
It's different. That's just a mouse in the wall.
Yeah, what they could do? Oh, they did Tomorrowland. They tried Tomorrowland.
Oh yeah, that was not.
That was fine.
It was fine,
boring.
But like it became about climate change and everything.
Anyway, moving on. So, Stranger Things season 4 is reportedly going to wrap filming next August.
Next August.
Yeah, which means we will not be seeing season 4 for a little while, probably until after the summer.
Yeah, probably June, July, or even October of 2021.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be June or July because they're wrapping in August. June and July are before August.
No, I mean the release would be June or July of 2021.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So the wrapping would be in August of 2020.
Correct, yeah. Gotcha. All right. That makes more sense timeline.
Sorry. We were saying months, but not years. Yeah. So.
Okay. Okay, and then last but not least, the first trailer for Wonder Woman 1984 is set to premiere at the Comic-Con experience in Sao Paulo, in Brazil.
No, that's not here. That's not in my eyes. I need that in my eyes.
Well, I'm sure it'll be up on the internet shortly after.
It-
The event is.
But with Portuguese subtitles at the
I
bottom.
don't think they're gonna have it.
I don't like it.
Uh,
What is taking so long with this movie?
I don't know. Maybe
And just the trailer, the
Yeah.
marketing materials, everything. I need to see Kristen Wiig in a cat suit. In a cat suit. She's
Cat-
Cheetah.
Yeah, and
So.
fuck. What's what's his name? Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
He's supposedly the villain.
I mean, other than Cheetah,
Another villain.
another villain.
Maxwell Lord, I think.
Oh, that's
Business guy who does mind control stuff.
yeah. I've heard of the. character.
December 8th is when this will be dropping, so you can look forward to that in a little over a month.
Yay! I want that in my eye face holes.
You know, I still have yet to see the first one.
I highly recommend it. Patty Jenkins is
Patty
Jenkins is a fantastic director. Have you seen Boys Don't Cry? Great movie. Where can people tell us how they feel about our podcast?
So, Nick, if you are a discerning listener and you feel like
I
yes,
hate this podcast.
I hate this podcast, and I want to spew vitriol at the two hosts,
Gross.
please don't do that. But if you do, you will be sending your email to lightscameranonsense@gmail.com.
Are you telling me it's called lightscameranonsense@gmail.com?
That is correct. lightscameranonsense@gmail.com.
Well, this has been Lights Camera Nonsense. We keep you updated despite our best efforts. Make sure to tune in every week for all the latest news, reviews, and
How do you do?
how do you do's?
That's what I said.
Thanks
How
for
do
tuning
you
in.
do's?
How do you do? Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.